On the agenda tonight is our public hearing to go over section 40. So I will call the public hearing to order with roll call. Mr. Waldeck, would you take the roll call, please?
Jimmy Chickalow.
Yes, here.
Doug Seaman.
Here.
Jeff Waldeck. Here.
This hearing is subject to the Ohio Sunshine Laws, and all discussion and comments must be held in open session. Tonight's topic is our zoning section 40, description of business district. It will include a text change and also an update of our zoning map.
Are we going to do the pledge and everything?
No, we'll do that in our regular meeting.
Oh, okay. So we're doing that. I got you.
On October 2nd, 2023, the Township Zoning Commission transmitted to the Bristol Board of Trustees a recommendation to approve the text change for section 40, description of business district. The Zoning Commission is recommending an update to section 40 to include 4 properties that were not added to the zoning resolution at the time of their adoption as a business property. This was from the years 1959 to 1963. The properties to be added to the resolutions were owned at the time by Raymond Detweiler, Don Rodney, Jay Brake, Robert Davidson. The addition of these properties to section 40 will require a map update also. The Board of Trustees hired Valley Title to research the properties and provide a legal description of the property locations. That has been completed. I'll go ahead and read the additional part to section 40, which is the description of a business district. Section 40 gives a business and commercial, which shall be designated as B in our zoning classifications. Classifications of use of B districts for business and commercial. The business commercial district is approximately 1 mile in each direction from the intersection of State Route 88 and State Route 45. And State Route 88 east to Oakville North Road, State Route 88 west to Corey Hunt Road, and State 45 south to Hyde Schaefer Road, and State 45 north. Boundary of the property address at 6789 State Route 45 northwest. And there are parcel numbers in there. The addition to the section 40 would be as read. This would be under paragraph A, line 3. September 1, 1959, Raymond Detweiler, parcel number 48-06205 at 234 Housecraft Road, Northwest. Number 4, October 6, 1959, Don Rodney, parcel number 48-080303 at 1602 Housecraft Road, Northwest. On December 20th, 1965, for J Brake parcels, number 48-099583 and number 48-099584 and number 48-009427 at 687 State Route 88. Note the original property was comprised of these parcels when the zone change was adopted. September 26, 1973 for Bob Davison, parcel number 48-022750 at 7040 State Route 45 Northwest. Do we have any comments from our board members? No?
Nope.
Okay. Ken, would you like to make a comment at all?
Yeah, but I don't want to point fingers on this. It's a reflection on how things were done in the 59 through 73 in many ways, because the parcel numbers and the street address numbers were not part of the minutes.
Yes.
These resolutions with that. And it was really kind of difficult to go back and search all this stuff out. And if somebody looking at it who's been new in the community wouldn't know who some of those people were at that time.
Right.
I wouldn't have a clue how to get there.
Yeah. And we have to say big thank you for doing all of the legwork on this. You've worked years on this. and which is very, very much appreciated. Comments from the public? Anyone have any thoughts? Yes, sir.
You did notify the owners of the property now.
It's not necessary. We thought we would, but it's not necessary because it's already been zoned that way for decades.
So it's gonna stay
If we haven't
commercial?
changed, yes, we haven't changed a thing.
Okay.
We are just updating the text and the map to
I thought
reflect
you
what
were
should be
changing
there.
the then. Okay.
Yes,
Not
Mhm.
changing it, you don't have to notify.
there you go. Anything else? Okay, so the board has 20 days from this date to act upon the recommendation. I'll put forth a motion to adjourn our hearing.
Second.
Roll call?
Jimmy Chicolo,
Yes.
Doug Seaman,
Yes.
Jeff Waldeck. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. I have 6:07, and I will call our regular meeting to order, starting with the roll call.
Jimmy Chicolo,
Here.
Doug Seaman,
Here,
Jeff Waldeck, here.
would we please stand for our pledge of allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I put forth a motion to approve our minutes from our February 6, 2024 meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jimmy Chicolo,
Yes.
Doug Seaman,
Yes.
Jeff Waldeck, yes.
And we'll greet our guests. Thank you for coming. Start up front.
I'm here, she told me to come.
Okay.
I woke him up for this.
All right. Good. Thanks for coming. Good. Okay. Observant. Okay. All right. Wrong. Okay. Okay. Corey, anything?
Watching around.
Okay. All right. All right. Then we'll go to our department reports. Mr. Weeks, please.
The next zoning commission meeting is March 11th, 2024 at 6 p.m. And I wanted to thank Kurt Holko publicly for participating in the last zoning meeting on February 12th as an alternate in my absence. And since the zoning meeting on January 8th, I've met individually with Tara, Jeannie, and Robin to discuss their thoughts on zoning. And it is what it is that they thought it was, and is their zoning position what they thought it was going to be.
Oh, okay.
One thought that came out of the discussions is the amount of time that a commission member should spend preparing for a meeting. Although we are appointed by the trustees, we do represent the community. And separately, I've asked the commission members via an email to drive around the township just to observe, to see what it is in the township. We're going to continue discussion on accessory dwelling units, and Jeannie Gurich and Tara Barnard is working with her. Continued discussion of section 14 rear houses, and Robin Marchano is the one person on that. We discussed adding some additional information to the zoning resolution table of contents for clarification purposes. That's going to be an ongoing project, as is the next one. We discussed reformatting Appendix C, zoning ordinance revision for clarification purposes. I did get a request from there is part of the conversation that night was a request from the zoning commission that house numbers be included in the zoning inspector's report. This information will aid the members as they drive around the township observing. Sarah and I have discussed developing a spreadsheet of zoning certificates issued in the township over the last several years. And as we get closer and closer to having to redo or look at the comprehensive plan again, which is supposed to be done every 10 to 15 years, one of the things that they look at in there is the building, the construction that's taken place since it was last done, and what is done, where it is currently. Dave Dubiaga spent a lot of time driving around the township when this was first done, identifying single-family houses, two-family houses, and other structures in the township, and that was all identified in the comprehensive plan. So that's part of my vision anyway, is to look at, we can develop a spreadsheet to make your job a lot easier as you look at doing the comprehensive plan and what has happened in the township since it was last done.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you have a date on that? Is that what, 26?
We did it in 2014. So. Yeah,
Oh,
10 or 15
okay.
years. You got a few years yet, but it's still something that's out there
Okay,
on the horizon.
okay.
And are there any plans to get the comprehensive plan published out on the web with a new section 43?
Well, I've got a motion to update it tonight, and then we'll move on from there.
Mark Webb provided me with a Word document file when he updated the zoning website with the latest zoning updates, and I'm asking that to continue so that when he puts that out on the web,
Okay.
he sent me a copy. A Word document with that information.
Okay.
Has there been any action on the alternate zoning commission member?
No.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. If you could give your notes to, or a copy of your notes to.
Okay, I
to
did
John.
send that to Nikki.
Okay,
Okay, but I'll get.
Yeah. thank you. Ellen?
I really don't have anything, the only, thing I've had so far is, one certificate was, done for, porch being built.
Okay,
That's all I have.
okay. All right, thank you. Greg?
I want to thank Jeff, first of all, for going out and helping me move a church pew that was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's about the length of these two tables.
Yeah. How heavy was it?
There was like four of us. It was ridiculous.
Okay.
We moved it into the town hall, but I kind of partially conned him. I didn't know we were that big of a church pew. I don't think he did either. But,
You're getting older.
yeah. We got it done.
We did.
Great.
We've been hauling some fines out of the county still.
Good.
And putting in pipe.
Okay. Sweet. Okay. Thank you. Chief?
Inventory is an ongoing process here.
Yes, sir.
Trying to get that done. Found an old copy of one. Hopefully we can get that entered in the computer and digitize sometime. Into the TCTC e-work or e-week 2 weeks ago, and ended up with a couple cadets from that process, and there's 2 more that are interested.
And what exactly is a cadet?
That is somebody who's still in high school
Okay.
and interested in seeing what firefighter and EMTs do. They spend time with us, come to the station, get a t-shirt, help us wash trucks, and do all kinds of fun stuff.
All right.
But there's a couple more that wanted to join, and one's Noah, Abdul Mahiman, and Talon Holt. One's from Bristol, one's from Warwick.
Oh, that's great.
So,
Okay.
yeah, we'll have 4 of them.
All right.
Updated our MAPIS for the year. There's a couple changes.
Mm-hmm.
With some departments, and I'm waiting to get hold of some chiefs to make sure they're aware of that, and then that'll be implemented
Okay.
next week or so.
All right.
We met with our contracted departments for squad medic backup. That's a process still in discussion, so we can come up with something final here in the next couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I completed the ARP application for the ambulance. I turned that in, so if that's something you decide to go with, completed and ready to go to the county.
Okay. Talk about the, at least the FEMA grant and the idea of what matching funds we're proposing for that to be.
The FEMA grant is due at the mid-March. And we're gonna ask for a new fire truck. New fire truck costs about anywhere between $800,000 and $900,000. We're still waiting on a final price estimate, so we can ask, we have to have everything in line before you submit to the FEMA grant.
Mhm.
So our levy brings in $600,000, and we're thinking of on the application grant for FEMA, saying that we'll pay half the price of the truck, which would be about $400,000. You put that down on the application, and your chances are much greater of getting.
Right.
Because they don't, the maximum they'll give out for a fire engine is about $550,000. They won't give any more than that. So
Okay.
you're stuck with paying that balance anyway. So if you offer up front to put a good number down, then you raise higher up on their list.
Okay.
Hopefully get it. Put down 400,000. That would still leave us with a couple $100,000 on that levy,
Sure.
because we need some equipment for the truck
Mhm.
desperately. So
If I'm not mistaken, right now you have the authority when writing a grant to, the board has allowed you to put in 15% matching funds. If we would want him to go forward with the FEMA grant process, then I think we have to allow him to write that grant at a 50% match. Thoughts?
Well, when are we having, a meeting with the people that are supposed to be discussing getting a new fire truck?
Tomorrow night. But
Well,
that,
isn't that what they're doing?
well,
Having meetings to decide what we need, what we might,
Part-
what are
part-
they doing?
part of the process of that committee, they will need to have the information that we have put in for a grant. And that would be a possibility. If they're gonna work all the numbers and all the angles, they're gonna have to know that. I agree with Steve with, if we put in a 50% match, our chances go way up.
Is that something that once you get it, or? I don't know, I thought you guys were all sitting down and coming up with a plan on what you want, what you're just, it might not, just saying, it might not be a new fire truck. It might not be, that's what I thought you were doing. What's the committee about the new fire truck meeting about?
A little bit of everything, isn't it? I mean, we're looking at a 10-year plan and I mean, granted, kind of speaking, not knowing right now, because tomorrow's our first meeting.
Right.
But I mean, we're looking at today and the future, trying to set up, because realistically, I think every township's in the same boat right now. We're way beyond our means of being able to financially, and I don't mean that money's being mishandled. I just mean things have exploded on costs that there's no way for us to keep up without really looking at some alternatives.
That's, okay, that's fine. What I'm asking about is, are you saying tonight or whenever we need to say, hey, yeah, we're gonna match $400,000 for a new fire truck?
Well, we're gonna.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, we are with, if we pass a motion tonight with a 50% match, we allow him to write
Right.
the grant for that.
When does
At
that
50.
grant have to be?
mid-March.
Yes, sir.
Looking at it from a more reasonable point of view,
Okay.
do we have to apply for an $800,000 fire truck, or can we scale it back to our needs here, maybe a $400,000 or $500,000 fire truck, or less? We don't have to have all the whistles and bells.
Well, here's the dilemma, Ron. We just passed a levy that, according to Steve, 600,000. And the trustees also. But
Yeah.
according to the county, it's 760,000.
In
So
5 years though, right?
Yes, but I
Okay.
want to see the discrepancy where the other $160,000 is from. I'm not saying Steve is wrong. I'm just kind of confused as why the county's telling me that much money. So the difference, Ron, is
I haven't seen that number.
he's
I'm
looking
sorry.
for matching funds. So if we can get a matching fund of 400,000, we have an excess of $200,000 to $350,000 in our account because we're only coughing up 400, and they're coughing up 400. You have to match 100%.
You know what, I understand that.
I understand, but it doesn't make any sense for us to go
Okay.
after a $500,000 truck that is gonna need to be replaced in 10 years when the state or the federal government is giving us 100% up to 400,000. You
You
might as
can
well.
get, that's not my point, you can get a new truck, just not have the custom chassis and all this and that, which doesn't make truck last any longer. It increases your maintenance cost on, because anything you do on those custom chassis is expensive.
I understand that.
And
I'm
Steve
just,
has said he says we need a new grass fire unit.
Yeah.
Where's all this money gonna come from? You know, I run my household on what I can afford, not what somebody gives me.
that's part of why I asked to be on this committee.
That's why-
I'm there with you, Ron.
All
I'm not
those
trying to
questions are
twist
gonna be
my-
asked in that
And that's
committee.
why
That's why
I'm
it's there.
totally against an $900,000 fire truck. And probably by the time it's built 3 years out, it'll be close to $1 million.
We have to sign a contract early,
Yeah.
but the truck we're looking at is almost, well, not identical, it's a single axle truck, but it's similar to the one that we had before that bought in 1987. 2,000 gallons of water, 1,500 GPM pumper tanker. That truck was the best truck we ever bought. It served us for almost 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
and we never should have, we should have replaced it with one of those, before. But, I mean, that's what we're going after. It's no bells and whistles, no fancy Cadillac truck. It's a basic fire truck. It's the lowest model that they have.
With a 6-man cab?
Absolutely.
Why?
We put 6 people in it.
When do you have 6 people to turn out, Steve? Come on now.
Oh, the other day we had 4. The other day we had 5. It depends on who's around at the station, Ron.
What's that?
It depends on who's at the fire station.
Well, there shouldn't be more than 2 plus yourself.
We got other people.
Oh, okay. All right.
So so back to my question.
Yes.
Are we agreeing, if tonight, do we have to say, hey, we want an $800,000, we want you to put in for an $800,000 fire?
No,
truck?
you're agreeing to 50% of the match. So
Yeah,
if
an
we,
$800,000 fire truck, so $400,000.
well, yeah, but what if the committee decides on a $300,000 fire truck? Then you
Right,
only got to
but-
come up with 150.
You haven't had a meeting yet. That's what
Correct. Yeah, I'm
what
on your
saying.
team. I know.
You just think we're ahead of the ball?
Yeah, I
Well,
think-
Ahead of it?
I think we're ahead of it too
Okay.
myself.
Okay.
I think the committee should come up with something before the trustees agree
Yeah,
to the
say,
50%.
hey, we gotta spend $400,000.
Because then we got it. Yeah.
That's all
I
I'm
mean-
asking. I didn't know we were already agreeing to buy an $800,000 or a $900,000
We're
truck.
not. We're not.
Well, you're talking about putting in a grant for it.
We're
When's
allowing you
next
to write
meeting?
it.
Deadlines.
Next meeting is the
When's the
First
deadline?
Tuesday.
1st of March.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't leave much time to.
Well, I mean, we shouldn't have waited till the last minute too.
Steve, can we rescind the
We had, how long ago did we decide to have this committee?
The grant will be decided.
A month ago,
Yeah.
at least a month ago.
Yes.
Yes,
Well, it just got formed 3 weeks ago.
a month ago. Anyway,
Well,
I'm
last
just trying
meeting.
to-
Officially.
If we
So
agree
there's
to
2
that, we don't
meetings
have to have a committee meeting. You don't have to have a meeting. What are you having a meeting for?
Well, I wasn't at the meeting when you made a committee, but my understanding of the committee is, like he was saying, it's a long-term thing. This truck, they passed, the public passed a levy for this truck. So we know we're gonna buy a fire truck. We don't know what it's gonna cost. We don't know what it is yet, but we know we're gonna buy a fire truck. The
Is
issue
the
is,
levy
the
for
issue
fire
is
equipment or for a fire truck?
truck and equipment, the way it's worded. The issue is, what do we do from this point forward? Because we have 2 more trucks down there that are 20 years old, okay? So we have to have a plan in place for the finances of the fire department.
I
We
don't
have to work on
disagree.
that.
I
So
don't
that's
disagree.
my understanding of what
That's the
that committee
committee.
was for.
I
Was to say,
don't
okay,
disagree at all.
that's-
I was
that's
waiting
what-
for the committee to come back and say, hey, this is what we talked about, this is what we discussed, this is what we want. You guys decide if you want to do it or not. I have not heard a word from a committee. The only people that I heard talk about it is you and Ron and Corey. I don't know anything about fire trucks.
No, neither does the committee. And then that's,
They don't?
No, we're looking
John-
at- we're
that's
looking
John
at the
Hickey?
finance
You?
and development side.
yes.
John Hickey doesn't know anything about a fire truck?
It's not the committee's position to pick the fire truck.
No.
It's their position to look at the finances of the total fire department, including this expenditure that we have a levy for, which is a fire truck. The people internal are the ones that decide, we need a fire truck, we need a grass unit, we need an ambulance. It's up to the committee to get together and say, okay, here's the best way to do it.
Well, that's
Form a
what
joint district, do whatever, have pancake breakfast, whatever. That's the committee's job.
Well, who picks and chooses on the truck then, Steve?
The people in the fire
Just you.
department. The officers and me and the other people that work at the fire department.
We've got one officer and yourself.
But there's a lot of people that work at the fire department, so, and they're all included on the committee. So, we've already had 3 meetings,
So when did you say it has to be in?
mid-March,
Just mid-March, not,
15th,
oh, it is.
whatever it is, yeah.
There's actually a drop dead date of this gotta be in by, so we're gonna have another meeting before that.
Well, you have it all wrote up, ready to go, correct? No?
No, I don't know if I can put in writing, I don't know if I can commit to, giving, last year we committed to giving an extra $150,000. The last request, and that was denied. So I need to know, to write it in
Can
the
you write
narrative.
everything up except for the number, and then once they have the meeting next, all you gotta do is fill in the number and it's ready to go?
Yeah,
Just ask.
it's not quite that easy, but yeah, I mean, I could write 2 or 3 different narratives and
Well, the other
Choose
side
the
is,
one.
personally, I don't see how we as a committee come to a final decision tomorrow on money. So as far as trustees go, you guys have to kind of, by next meeting, you 3 need to sit down and decide how much money you want to match or willing to match on a grant. I'm not saying piss it away and spend all 600,000, but you gotta be realistic. The bottom of the line, brand new fire truck is $900,000. And your next jump's 1.2.
Right.
Ambulance is 2.5 to 3.5. And we need 2 of those soon.
Why would you want to throw $400,000 away? You have federal government is willing to give you $400,000 if you qualify for it.
Correct.
Otherwise, we have to spend, as taxpayers, have to spend the $400,000.
Correct.
Why not give him the authority to put that $400,000 out there?
Mm-hmm.
We're willing to do it if it comes out that way. Otherwise, the $400,000 or $600,000 is going to have to come out of our pocket.
Yes.
It's a no-brainer.
Well, the first $400,000 was coming out of our pocket anyway.
Okay, other than that, we're gonna spend the $600,000 or $800,000 of the taxpayers' money.
This whole discussion is even back a used truck, this size truck, that size truck. We never nobody ever said, okay, we want to spend $800,000 that I know
And
of.
only $400,000 of it's gonna be ours.
No kidding. I know that.
That's if.
Say you put it in
That's-
for 400,000.
It's an $800,000
And we're gonna say
truck
we're
is what
gonna
I'm
have
saying. We got to pay
Yeah,
for
we
half.
have a grant.
I
Say
know.
something
But
for
then
some
if we
fine
buy
stuff on sale.
a used one
So
for
then what happens? So
600,000,
say it's only
we have a
600,000.
used truck.
Do we have to, we
Yeah.
only take
And we've
300 from the
spent
grant and we get 300, they only match 50/50,
buy a
or we
good
get the
brand new
400,
one
we add the
for 4.
extra? I'm just saying, I'm just using
Yeah.
numbers out my
Just-
head.
I just,
when you commit to the grant, they're still gonna play that much. So if
400
they
no
agree
matter what.
400, it's 400.
Okay, and then if we
So-
have to only spend 200 or 300, whatever, we still get that 400. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. You're just applying for 400,000 at this point. Can we apply for 500?
then we got to match 500,000.
No. You didn't hear what I just asked.
You can put down any match you want.
What I
to.
asked him was, say he puts down 400,000, but we'll put down 400,
Right.
okay. Say he finds a truck, say 600,000. They're still giving him 4, we only gotta put 2. No matter what.
If he changes his mind and finds a $600,000
If he
truck.
does, but if not, then we gotta do 400. But I'm saying if something happens and the committee says, hey, let's get a year-old truck and whatever.
No, this grant ain't for a year-old truck. It's for a new truck, right? It
Okay,
has to be a new truck.
okay.
That's the only thing FEMA will give you for grant on, correct?
Yeah, are you forced to take the money if you win the grant?
No,
Yeah.
you don't have
So-
to take it.
So
To
they
me,
apply
it's like
for it, so you
applying
don't
for
miss it.
college. Decide you don't wanna go day before school starts.
Why give up the
You don't have to do it.
Look,
I-
I'm
Just don't
not a
wanna miss the
proponent of
deadline,
spending
not the
money
night.
with the township, you guys know that, but I think it'd be really stupid to not approve him writing that grant, and then our hands are tied down the road.
Well, I don't think there's any way we're gonna not let him write a grant.
Are you going to allow him to write it with a 50% match?
I was hoping we were gonna have
But get
a
that-
committee that, gave us some
but that-
options, but we're
that's
not
gonna-
getting any
that's
options.
gonna
It's
stay
here
the
it
same.
is. It's
It's
this.
gonna stay the same. You're gonna.
Okay, it's not, don't let me stop you.
Okay, I'll put in the form of a motion that we allow the fire chief to write a FEMA grant with a 50% match. Do I have a second?
For how much money?
For how much money?
There is, you know.
Of
there is no-
50%.
Yeah, 50% match.
Of what?
50%
It
of-
doesn't matter. You've only got,
Oh, okay, so he picks the number then.
Say 50% up to 400,000.
Yeah, you gotta, you have
okay,
a number.
50% up to 400,000. That's fine. I can do that. Do I have a second? Going once? Okay. I guess we don't have a second, so we will move on to the next business.
We need to, that'll be the top of the agenda at the next meeting.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what this idea is, but that's mine.
Is the discussion closed?
Yes, we will move on to our next business.
So if
Um,
he writes,
Yes,
he writes it, we come back to the next meeting and, or whatever meeting, and it's been approved.
Have to be
Now, does somebody?
it
have-
won't be approved probably until fall.
Well, right,
by
whatever,
FEMA.
when it gets approved. When it gets approved.
Then the
So
grant's
then,
gone.
Does any,
No.
do we have any say as to, okay, how it's getting distributed at that point? No.
It's very specific.
The fire truck and equipment.
That's correct. Very specific. Okay.
The grant's not gone. Don't.
We've got, yeah, I'm gonna cut it close, but we've got time. Okay. I'm gonna move on to old business. Any old business to talk about,
No.
okay? Jeff?
No.
I don't either. Any new business to discuss?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
No.
I'd like to bring up, we've been talking about areas of responsibility for individual trustees. We have talked about it and we're in agreement that Jeff is going to take the fire department, Jim is going to take roads and buildings, and I will take zoning and cemeteries. So we'll just, that we will field calls that way. And of course, we will discuss everything as usual. But hopefully the public will know who to call for specific reasons.
They do that one more time, I'm so sorry.
Okay, not a problem. Jeff is going to take the fire department. Jim will take roads and buildings, that'd be maintenance. And I'll take zoning and cemeteries. You're welcome.
Will that all be updated on the website so if
Yes.
somebody looks? you know who
Yes,
to call?
yeah, it'll be included in the minutes.
Ellen, did you get a call the other day on a shed being delivered
Yes.
to Mahoning Avenue? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
They need a permit? They need a permit?
It's a little bit of controversy over it, and I have to discuss it with the gentleman.
Okay.
Do they need a permit?
Yes.
Thank you.
Might be even one of them portable, like they build somewhere else and they drop, you need a, I thought if it wasn't a stationary building.
Depends on the size, I believe.
Agriculture?
No,
No.
no,
No,
no, for a home.
no, it's a home, it's 12 by Amish.
That's huge. That's huge. There's the different size. Yeah. That's huge. Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What, the problem?
I'm sorry?
What did you need to know, Jeff?
I didn't know the size. He just
Oh.
called me because he had my number. He looked the number up on the thing and he called me and I said, you need to talk to zoning. That's not for me to decide. And I gave him your number and I just wanted to make sure he called you.
Yeah, no,
That's all I was getting into. I didn't want to get into all this. I just wanted to make
yeah,
sure that
he
happened.
called me and I've got some-
I guess I probably should have asked that outside of the meeting, but
The three of us and Greg met with the county engineers for our annual township meeting last week. We talked about Oakville North, closed bridge. They have the steel spans are already ordered. Hopefully, they said they're going to start work on that in 4 to 5 weeks. Okay. Anything else you have? I'm
No.
just going to go right to the motions then. So I'll put forth a motion to approve the text changes to section 40 from tonight's hearing, description of the business district. Do I have a second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Jimmy Chickalow,
Yes.
Doug Seaman,
Yes.
and Jeff Waldeck. Yes.
Put forth a motion to approve the map update in section 40 and to also update the comprehensive plan zoning map.
Second?
Jimmy Chickalow,
Yes.
Doug Seaman,
Yes.
Jeff Waldeck. Yes.
Put forth a motion to add the military compatibility element that was recently put into this Bristol Zoning Commission plan to be placed into the county comprehensive plan. Do I have a second?
Second?
Jimmy Chickalow,
Yes.
Doug Seaman,
Yes.
and Jeff Waldeck. Yes.
And just for reference, tomorrow night's first meeting of the Fire Finance Committee will take place in this room. It'll be at 6 o'clock. The public is welcome. All right. Anything else? Anything else to come before? Yes.
You said county comprehensive plan, did you mean Bristol Township?
Bristol Township, supported by the county. Yes, thank you. I'll
Just-
make sure that we have it right in the minutes. Thank you.
Just to make it clear, we didn't get a second on the motion for the fire truck.
Correct.
If we need to look at that again before our next meeting, we
Yes.
can have a special meeting
Yes, we can.
and approve it
Yes,
and get
we
it
can.
done. So I don't want
Absolutely.
everybody to leave here tonight and say, they're not gonna go for a FEMA grant, they're losing $400,000, because that's not what
Right.
we're doing.
You guys are part of that meeting tomorrow, or no? They
No.
just report to you after the meeting?
I am part of that meeting.
He's on the board.
Okay, so-
We're not allowed to have
somebody's-
more than one trustee there at a
So
time.
somebody's, so they'll
Yeah.
know what's going
Right.
on.
Yes. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that.
Thank
We
you, Jim.
didn't.
Okay, anything else to come before the board?
I would just like to thank our squad for some help today. I
Oh.
appreciate it very much.
Thank you. I'll put forth a motion to pay the bills. Do I have a second?
Second?
Doug
Yes.
Doug Seaman,
Yes.
Jimmy Chickalow,
Yes.
and Jeff Waldeck. Yes.
And I'll put forth a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you have any action on alternate members of?
I didn't receive
Yes.
a letter yet. We've got that figured out. We'll get it done and we'll do that at our next meeting. Yes. Where am I at?
Is there any update on the house next to the bar lot?
No. We will start that. We will start that ASAP. Yes. Okay. All right, we have a motion to adjourn. We have a second?
Second?
Doug Seaman,
Yes.
Jimmy Chickalow,
Yes.
Jeff Waldeck. Yes.
Okay.